At UFC 310, Themba Gorimbo lost to Vicente Luque via anaconda choke in the first round. Themba recently made an appearance on the Pivot podcast and reveals that he received a video of his own family members celebrating his loss. He went on to say, "When I go online, one of my cousins, I can't speak his name, but he messaged me the day after I lost the last fight. Some of my cousins were celebrating my loss. They were all celebrating my loss. He sent me a video of them in a place where we were 15 years ago. These cousins of mine were celebrating my loss. Do you know how much that eats you? Because all I do is try to do better for everybody. I might not directly help you, but maybe I want to build a well for the community." Then one person gets angry. "Why did you build the well close to this guy's house and not this person's house? If someone messages you and says, 'Give me $5,000, where will I get that?' People think that I'm in the UFC and I'm a millionaire. I am not. Maybe one day I will be." Tony Ferguson says he has fight news coming soon. Tony is currently on an 8-fight losing streak, most recently losing to Michael Chiesa via rear naked choke in the first round this past August. Tony posted this to his Instagram. In the caption, he wrote, "Completely destroyed myself to reinvent it. As an artist, I aim to show something you've never seen before. Happy New Year, crew. 2025 in my sights. Champ shit only. Stay tuned and watch the magic unfold. New missions acknowledged. Fight news coming soon." Merab Dvalishvili reveals after his second professional MMA loss back in 2014, he retired from MMA. Merab lost to Ricky Bandejas via unanimous decision and says he felt like if he couldn't win in the smaller promotions, how would he win in the UFC?
First fight I lost, and then I win next one, and then CFFC, "Oh, you want to fight in 2 weeks?" I said, "Okay, yeah, sure." And then I lost this fight too, and then I'm like, MMA.
So did you retire?
That was the moment.
That was. What year was that?
That was the moment. 2000, end of 2014.
And you just like, I'm done with MMA?
Yeah, because at that time in my head I was thinking I'm not the best, because if I lost here in Ring of Combat, I was 1 and 2. How I'm gonna win UFC?
Right,
and how I'm gonna go
right.
make it to UFC? You know? Right. I was booked for my next fight, but I had headaches and I wasn't happy, not motivated, and I said no, I want some time off. And I was thinking I'm gonna live normal, like normal people lives. I'm like, okay, I have a job, and
you're doing construction, right?
Construction, yeah. And I was thinking to get better in construction, make money and work daytime, nighttime, go restaurants, go club, hang out with girls, maybe get married and then live like a normal. And I was doing all this, but I wasn't happy, I was missing something in the competition. I came back and I said, I don't care, win or lose, I'm gonna just keep fighting. Even in that time, they wasn't paying me in Ring of Combat, they wasn't paying nothing. Yeah. And then I'm like, yeah, maybe hopefully I can fix my immigration papers and then maybe fight in China, because my Georgian friends was fighting in China. They was making $1,000, $2,000, and maybe as long as they cover my flight, I could see China, go Russia, you know. I was thinking like this, I forget about UFC and Bellator or something like that. But came back, win 6 straight, and then now it came to where I was champion of Combat. I was in here.
Knocked out Rafion.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Knocked out my boy.
Crazy.
Paige Vanzant announced that she will be returning to MMA and is signed with the new GFL fight promotion. As of recent, Paige competed in BKFC and Power Slap a few times. She lost 4 out of her last 6 fights in the UFC, but says she's excited to return to a new promotion. Paige said they are picking up anybody and everybody who has a name in this sport that's a free agent. They offered me a contract and I said yes. I think this is the perfect opportunity because I didn't necessarily leave MMA. I definitely didn't leave MMA because I wasn't passionate about it, but when I became a free agent outside of the UFC, the biggest offer that came in was from BKFC. They were the ones. They presented the best offer to me, and it was exciting, and it was new, and it really sparked my interest. Not that I didn't want to fight in Bellator, or I had a few others who offered me a deal, but for me, that's just not where I wanted to take it. And I was like, no, I want to try this bare knuckle boxing thing, and I absolutely loved it. Now there's a new MMA promotion organization that actually made me really excited to fight for them. Aljamain Sterling grapples with Jamahal Hill. Aljo reposted the footage to X. He wrote, "Good rolling with the champ,"
but at a more moderate pace. He's a big boy, grappling with Jamahal. He let me start mostly from the dominating top position, trying to control him. I think I did a relatively good job maintaining the half guard position, side control positions, and I think I even got to his back. But I'm also so much smaller, so I can kind of like slip into like these weird places when these bigger people try to explode and get out of these positions. And even then, he was trying not to use his size and his strength as much, which was good for him from a technical standpoint, for him to work on some of the things that he's going to need to tighten up. Because if he can hit those type of things without using his strength and trying to be just a bigger person, I think that's going to go a lot further for him than just muscling out of everything.
Daniel Cormier discusses the one time he felt like he was in a flow state during a fight. DC says when he fought Dan Henderson back in 2014, almost every single thing he tried worked, and it was the only time in his career where that happened. DC defeated Hendo via rear naked choke in the 3rd round.
Hey, yo, I got in the flow state one time. I swear to God, it happened.
Yeah.
It happened, and I didn't recognize it was happening. And then I realized, like, afterwards, I was like, oh my God, now I know that feeling. Bro,
Yeah.
when I was fighting Dan Henderson, I was doing things, bro, I swear to God, I was doing things that I didn't even, it was like going boom, boom. Yo,
Yeah.
I wasn't even trying. Like, bro, me and Dan Henderson were fighting. We punch into the clinch. I hit him with a step around throw, a Polish lateral drop. It was crazy, right? Who does
I remember that.
Bro, I hit a Polish lateral drop. Then we're punching each other. I get on a high crotch, and then I flip him
You
through
lift
the
him
air.
up, yeah.
Yes. Then he gets up, and I foot sweep him from behind. It was like I was in a flow state. Dude, it was just like, and I grabbed him by the back of the head and foot swept him, dude. It was like everything was working.
Yeah.
Every transition, every move that I did, every punch I threw landed. That was the only time I think that it was a complete flow inside the octagon. Even a wrestling match, right? When you're wrestling,
Really?
and you're like, dude, I think that was the only time inside my entire UFC career that I was just in such a flow where it felt like there was nothing he was going to be able to do.
Yeah.
Like there was no threat, bro. And I mean, have you ever got that? Like, have you ever felt
Yeah, I feel like I mean in wrestling I got there semi frequently. Fighting I think was harder because you do the round breaks.
Robert Whittaker believes Khamzat Chimaev will be the middleweight champion by the end of 2025. Rob also thinks Belal Muhammad will still be the welterweight champion.
I'd have to say Chimaev, eh? I'm going to say Chimaev. I just think, I think his grappling's so good. Like, so good. You know, I think Belal keeps it.
Yeah?
Yeah. I think his hardest fight would probably be with Shavkat, but Belal's tough as nails, dude. And I can see them fighting like a real close fight, but Belal getting like a decision win.
Alex Pereira reposted the video of Israel Adesanya knocking him out at UFC 287 today. Alex posted it to his Instagram story with a broken heart emoji. He followed up with footage of him shadowboxing.
Repete combinação com outras vezes, tá ligado? É um time diferente. Just one fight, tá ligado? Vale, ó. Trabalhar em casa também.
Kevin Holland thinks Belal Muhammad is the easier fight over Dricus du Plessis. He says he believes he would knock Belal out.
Easier fight. I have to say, honestly, probably Belal.
I would have to say
People,
too.
people can say what they want to say about Duplessis. His style's ugly, his style's this, his style's that. He's a gritty to fight.
He's a gritty
and it doesn't matter what you're doing that night. You're gonna have to deal with that grit. I like grit, so I'm fine with that. Belal, it's kind of like I really honestly believe I shut down the takedown. Belal gets knocked the out. You know what I mean? But then that's just a big story though. It's, you got to get there. You know what I mean? And the path to getting there ain't easy. It's harder to get there than it is to win the actual fight once you get there. You know what I mean? So I'm just gonna stay my black right where I am. I'm pretty happy where I am.
You and DJ both.
Yeah, you know, it's a good spot. You know, it's a really good spot. I get to have all the fun without all the politics. It's great.
And that's going to wrap it up for the news. Thanks for watching. For daily MMA news and content, subscribe to Full Mount MMA and click the bell icon to be notified when we post videos. Here are the 3 top comments from last video. The first one's from Winch7215. Says, I can't decide who's more delusional, Colby or Jamal. The second one says, at this point I've realized that Alex didn't just ruin Jamal's career, he ruined Jamal. The final one's from Butterfly. Says, I hope Yuri wins in the most controversial way possible, just to see Jamal cry endlessly forever. Those were the 3 top comments from last video. If you want to be featured in the next one, all you have to do is comment down below. And if you missed yesterday's news, click the video on screen right now to get caught up.